What's up, guys? I'm Frank Vines and welcome to my ePortfolio 4, a closer look at advertisements and the motivational appeals that lie within them. Now, every single day we're bombarded with persuasive messages, whether it's through TV, radio, or print. They're unavoidable. We've been tasked to pick 5 different ones and see if we can identify the appeals that are being used within them. The first one I chose is from Pepsi. Back in 1992, for a Super Bowl ad, they decided to create an advertisement that would become an instant classic. Let's take a quick look. In this commercial, it's pretty clear to see what their main target was. It was boys/men. This is obvious due to several factors, including its airtime, the Super Bowl, and its subject matter. Pepsi was trying to be persuasive by employing sex appeal and humor. Most of the appeal in this commercial is based solely off peripheral cues, from the hot day, Cindy's attractiveness, to her finishing the entire drink. None of it actually points directly to the taste. A surprising and easily missed secondary target would be girls/women. By choosing a popular supermodel, Pepsi is also hoping to grab the attention of females. The imagery could make one believe that you're more desirable by grabbing a can of Pepsi to quench your thirst. Now, clearly this advertising didn't hurt the brand. It was effective enough for them to recreate this commercial back in 2002. And they also did the same thing in 2016. They also continued to use attractive female leads like Britney Spears, Beyonce, and Pink, to name a few. Clearly, if this was a tactic that was not working, Pepsi as a corporation would have stopped a long time ago. But they continue to print these ads yearly and gain more money and profit as the years go on. Now, my second advertisement is another TV commercial by Extra, the gum brand. Last year, they made a 2-minute long commercial showing the journey of love of a young couple. In doing so, they employed warmth and emotion to help persuade consumers to their message. Let's take a look at that one. The commercial begins with the 2 characters in high school. As they start dating and their relationship grows, you watch as they go from each stage of life. All along the way, gum and the wrapper is playing a role in their relationship. All of this culminating to the end of the commercial, where the boyfriend uses the gum wrappers to depict the different stages of their relationship. You can't help but get a warm and fuzzy feeling watching this ad. It depicts the early stages of love and the difficulties that can come up, fights and long distance. This honesty in their depiction creates a strong sense of believability. The couple and their association to gum seems sincere. By watching their entire journey, the viewer generates an emotional connection with the couple and their use of gum wrappers. I think this targets younger demographic, but it also can be middle-aged as well, due to the nostalgia and their use of the Elvis cover. If you ask me, that ad worked. Every single time I see foil from gum, I think of that commercial. If I hear that song, whether it's the original, the one from the commercial, I think of the ad. Now, let's move to my number 3 advertisement. I chose an insurance company, Allstate, and their character Mayhem. Now, this was a wildly successful commercial that had many iterations. The target audience for this was 16 and above, pretty much anybody that could drive. Let's go to the commercial. This commercial uses the appeal of fear and humor. The fear aspect would be each real-life incident Mayhem acts out. Each one of these could be extremely costly to the people it happens to. Although these events in real life are unfortunate and typically not funny, the marketers creatively changed that. Their creativity made these commercials entertaining and quite funny. But the problem with that is that you run the risk of the consumers having low perceived vulnerability. If that's the case, consumers might not feel motivated to actually go and resolve this issue. Thankfully, Allstate did provide a practical remedy of signing up for Allstate. For my 4th advertisement, I'm going with another insurance company. And who would have thought insurance companies would have such funny commercials? This time, Jake from State Farm. Now, just like Mayhem, this was also another very successful advertising program. That being said, they only made one Jake for State Farm commercial. But because of its humor, it went viral. and there have been hundreds of spoofs all over the internet. Now, just like the other one, I think the demographic for this is 20 and above, because that truly is the only niche that would be buying insurance. So let's go to the commercial. In this commercial, a husband is up at 3 a.m. on the phone with a rep from the insurance company. His wife comes down to find him on the phone and thinks that he's talking to another woman. Once she gets on the phone and hears a man's voice, she's still not convinced and thinks that he's having an affair. Due to the fact that humor generates likability, State Farm immediately gains credibility here. Not only that, it's very memorable and easy to recall. The commercial also depicts dependability by taking place in the middle of the night. And even though it's not completely believable, because it's executed so well, we're all willing to suspend reality just a little bit for the commercial. Okay. For my fifth and final advertisement, I decided to go with a print. But I will say this actually started out as a commercial and then became a print. But let's keep moving. So this is from the CDC. And this was a campaign that they created to prevent people from smoking, or hopefully to quit smoking. In 2012, the CDC started their Ugly Truth campaign aimed at getting people to understand the dangers of smoking. These ads depict real people who are suffering from cigarette-induced ailments. The images are real and at times graphic. They use fear to make an impact and hopefully motivate people to not smoke or quit. By showing these images, the goal is to make an impact so the consumer may attempt danger control. An article from Everyday Health reported that the CDC found that after these ads, the number of people calling their hotline to An article from Everyday Help reported that the CDC found that after these ads, the number of people calling their hotline for quitting nearly doubled. They estimated that nearly 50,000 people have quit just from these ads alone. Those stats alone show that that ad campaign was successful, and thank goodness for that. In conclusion, doing this project, I loved this assignment. I'm always so interested in hearing different ways that marketers and advertisers try to persuade us to their product. You know, it's around us constantly. Every single day, we are bombarded by these messages through TV, magazines, radio, newspapers, you name it. And all of them are buying for our attention and for our service and for our loyalty. I loved going through this module and learning different ways and different tactics they use to do that. In fact, it helped open my eyes as I was analyzing these commercials. Sometimes I think we see these commercials and they're just kind of advertisements, or we look at them as something to make us laugh or maybe even cry, or really just kind of space in between the end of when the show stopped and when the next one's going to begin. But in reality, these messages are deep and complex and have a real purpose. And I think that it's important that we try to get to the bottom of those, especially since we hear them every single day. So I hope that you guys learned a lot, or at least enjoyed some of the commercials that I chose. I look forward to seeing some of the ones that everybody else chose and what they pulled out of them. So until next time, my friends, I'll see you later.